But wanted to ask, Steph was out here and I saw Raul, so what's some updates on them?
Steph will be working his way back. He's still on the concussion protocol. He still has some last-minute steps, but we're easing him back into training. And Raul looks good. Looks good.
You had mentioned possibly wanting to sit down and talk to him regarding the article. Was there anything of that conversation?
Well, when I have my conversation with him, I'll keep it private. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I mean, I'm just going to try and figure out why and ask him how he's feeling. Tell him he's still got a lot of value for the club. Whatever the circumstance happens at the end of the year, we're just going to move forward with as least amount of drama as possible, because if you look at the opportunity for the squad, and he's a big part of the squad, you've got 3 home games, then we've had good games up in Vancouver, we've played well in Colorado, and then you get another, end of the year match with Portland. And we can go on a little bit of a run here. And that would boost everybody's morale. And that's what I'm hoping for.
And it's a matter of timing for yourself to not have that. I know the players were off yesterday, so is it timing that you haven't had that type of minute, or just?
I'm letting him have his days off. They've worked hard all year long.
How would you assess Steph's is he someone that you think might be ready for this weekend, or is? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What about Leo?
Leo Chu did not train today. I put him on a field, and the kid just can't catch a break. It's his tendonitis flared up again. That first sprint that he did, and he stopped. So that one's a touchy one. And then we didn't forget about JP. He's a little bit further out.
And Cody.
And Cody's fine. He'll be in full.
What was the situation with JP?
Calf.
Is that like a
calf injury strain?
Okay, and so you're thinking he might be out a week or two, or it could be longer?
2 to 3.
2 to 3 weeks. Brodilio came back against the with the Defiance.
Yep.
He looked amazing. What did you make of his performance, and how possible is it that he would be a contributing factor with you guys this
down
year?
the stretch? He might be able to. He's got to fight for game time, just like everybody else. But certainly it was an encouraging moment for himself personally. And we brought it up in our review of the Columbus match. We actually started with Brodilio's one of his goals, and just made mention of welcome back and job well done, and he's worked hard. He's overcome a lot of adversity, and credit to him.
Speaking of the Columbus match, before things got a little bit weird with the red card, how did you see the partnership between Josh and Christian in the midfield? How do you think they did?
Better than the game before. Christian and Josh are super talented. We've been playing Obed and JP. It's nice to have that many options in that part of the field. I think their range and their athleticism helped them because we're chasing the ball. So, I thought it was good.
With the JP replacement situation, do you feel like you have an obvious like for like, or is it you sort of have to play a little differently when he's not on the field?
We play a little different. Christian, Josh, Obed. Danny might be the closest, but he's more of a possession-based type number 6. The defending, he's not, Ozzy or Gustav. That's if you're a real true 4-3-3 ball possession team. But they're all a little different, so the team looks a little different depending on who's in there.
Have you been? I don't know. Do you feel like is Christian basically the guy who's been filling in for him? How would you, or is it not really? It is just simply it's 2 different players that play the game. There's no 6 essentially.
We don't. True number 6. I mean, we haven't had a true number 6 since Gustav, and then before that, Ozzy. I think those were true number 6. Even JP has more stuff to his game. He's told me that he likes to go forward at times, and having double pivots. Sometimes you can get away with a 6-8 with a true 8, or 2. It just gives you some flexibility as to how that partnership works. I think Obed and JP work because JP a little older, understands his game. He sits there, and you give Obed that freedom to go up and rotate, and it's worked good. And Christian and Josh are still young and figuring it out.
When do you expect to get Obed and Nuhu back?
Obed's here today.
Okay.
Nuhu's coming tomorrow.
So you don't
And
know
they'll be
anything
back.
about him yet.
Yeah. Nuhu came out in the 68th minute. The first game he came out with some quad tightness, but he played in the second game. That's a positive sign.
With JP, that happened in training?
It was in training before we left for Columbus.
When you say that you guys, y'all could go on a run, some of the opponents are below you in the standings. Is it kind of a situation like with Columbus where, maybe catch some breaks too in games to get those wins too, or do you feel that
We can only play who's in front of us. Schedule is made way in advance. We have an opportunity, to collect some points at home, go on the road and collect some points, and let's see where we end up at the end of the year. That's the opportunity. How it came, why it came, how things unfolded in Columbus, that's out of our control.
are you expecting to add anybody before the freeze on Friday?
Probably not.